Good morning, Berkeley Brookers. So we talked about last week April being Autism Awareness Month. This week I want to talk about something else April celebrated for, and that's National Poetry Month. And so the story I have for you today is, say good morning. All right, you going to step over there and finish eating your breakfast now while we get started, or you want to sit right here with me? Okay. The story I'm going to read to you is called Max's Words, and it's written by Kate Banks and illustrated by Boris Kulikov. And it's one of my older sons, Wiley. It's one of his favorite stories, like forever and ever. It was one of his first favorite books. And it's all about how things like stories and poems really get written. Poems really are just short stories. Some poems can be really long. Some poems are really short. And really, poems tell a story also. So here is Max's Words, and it's about how important and how powerful words can be. Max's brother Benjamin collected stamps. He had stamps of many colors and sizes. They had ragged edges and sticky backs. Some had famous people on them, and others had places or buildings or flowers or trees. Benjamin spread his stamp collection across his desk. He showed it to his friends and family. Everyone admired it. Max said, "Can I have a stamp?" "No," said Benjamin. There's Max and Benjamin, and here's all the stamps there. Get in close so you can see some of them.
Well, you just almost hit me with that.
Max's older brother, Carl, collected coins. He had coins of many sizes and values. They came from different countries. Some were silver-colored with rough edges. Others were copper-colored with smooth edges. They were all shiny. They had people and buildings on them and the year in which they were made. When Carl showed them around, everyone admired them too. Max said, "Can I have a coin?" "No," said Carl. There's Carl and all the coins. Closer so you can see those cool coins. Max wanted to collect something, but he wasn't sure what. He gave it some thought. Finally, he said, "No, thank you. I'm going to collect words." "Words?" said Benjamin. He laughed. "Very funny, Max," said Carl. Max began collecting small words. A, the, it's, and, at, who, to, and, but, was, in, on, out, big, see, you, day. He cut them out of magazines and newspapers, and he spread them across his desk. Pretty soon Max found bigger words. Hungry, asked, through, alligator, crocodile, hissed. He cut them out and added them to the others. Max's collection grew rapidly. Max collected words that made him feel good. Park, baseball, dogs, hugs. I like the shapes. Baseball bat. Hungry has a bite taken out of it. Alligator and crocodile make the mouth see the eye. He collected words of things he liked to eat. Bananas, pancakes, ice cream. He collected words that were spoken to him. Good morning, goodbye, go away. He collected his favorite colors. Green, blue, brown. Max opened the dictionary and found words he did not know. He copied these on small slips of paper. Slithered, iguana. "What are you doing, Max?" asked Benjamin. "Let me see," said Carl. Max's collection grew too big for his desk, so he spread out his words on the floor. He separated them into neat piles. When Benjamin and Carl arranged their collections in different orders, it didn't make much difference. But when Max put his words in different orders, it made a big difference. A blue crocodile ate the green iguana. The blue iguana ate a green crocodile. Soon Max's collection of words spread out into the hallway. So here's a blue crocodile eating a green iguana. And all he did was switch them, but it tells a different story. The green iguana ate a blue crocodile. Oh, I said that backwards. Sometimes Max gave away a word or two. See you later, alligator. Have a nice day. When Benjamin put his stamps together, he just had a bunch of stamps. When Carl put his coins together, he had just a pile of money. But when Max put his words together, he had a thought. Maybe I could trade a word for a stamp or a coin, please? No, said Benjamin. No, said Carl. I've got 1,000 stamps, said Benjamin. When I get a few more coins, I'll have nearly 500, said Carl. And when I have a few more words, I'll have a story, said Max. A story takes a lot of words, said Benjamin. I know, said Max. You don't have enough, said Carl. Let's see, said Max. Max sorted through his words. He picked out a few and began arranging them on the floor. Once there was a little brown worm who wished to be a big green snake. There's the worm, and he's wishing to be a big green snake. Benjamin and Carl stopped what they were doing and came over to look. Max continued his story. The worm slithered through the grass. It stuck out its tongue and hissed loudly. Max stopped to choose some more words. Benjamin butted in. Then along came a big, mean, green crocodile. And then it was Carl's turn. I'm hungry, it said. Benjamin grinned. He chose a few more words. The crocodile opened its mouth wide and Carl scrambled for more words. He wanted the crocodile to eat the worm. But Max was quicker. The little brown worm darted down a hole, glad to be a worm. Hey, I want another story, said Benjamin. So do I, said Carl. And I want a stamp and a coin, said Max. Oh, all right, said Benjamin. He gave Max a stamp. Carl gave Max a coin. And Max gave them each some words. He kept the rest for himself.
What was that, Mom?
Once there was a big brown dog. The end.
No, you have to do it the other way.
So, one of my favorite types of poems, actually two of my favorite types of poems, and second graders, we would have been doing this in the library together at this point, possibly partly in the SteamMaker Lab, partly in the library, because you can get extremely creative with one of these two, actually with both, but one in particular. Two of my favorite types of poetry are concrete poetry. That's where the poem can actually take the shape of the thing about which the poem is. So if it's a poem about a star, the words are kind of layered out so that it looks like a star. And then the other kind of poetry that I love is called blackout poetry. Blackout poetry is when you take a magazine article or a newspaper or an old book and you just take one page, any page, random. It doesn't have any significance to it. You got to ask, if you want to try this, you have to ask permission first because you're going to destroy it to make something new. So the way that you create blackout poetry is not by writing the words of the poem, it's by blacking out or filling in all the words that are not part of the poem. So in the links underneath this, the assignment, I'll post some examples of Blackout Poetry, and you can give it a try. But you can, any kind of poem you want would be fine for today. You want to share what you made?
Yeah.
What did you make? Go ahead, share it.
It has a cool robot head and a purple neck and a body with a pickle and then feet, green feet.
And big green feet,
Mm-hmm.
and a car robot head, and he's wearing a red hat.
No, this is and then, I mean, his,
Oh no!
I have
You have to what? What are Legos for? What happens when we break them?
we have to rebuild them.
You have to rebuild them. All right, my friends, have some fun creating some poetry this week.
No,
Bye.
you forgot